We open the rotation with Nahida's skill since it's our longest lasting ability, followed by her burst. Then we use Xingqiu's burst and make sure to start weaving normal attacks in between our abilities for the rest of the rotation. We activate Kuki's skill, which is of course our Hyperbloom trigger and a significant source of our damage. Then we use Yelan's skill and burst for even more damage and hydro application on every normal attack. We go back to Xingqiu and use his skill to recharge his energy. Then we switch to Nahida, and here I like to use 2 sets of 3 normal attacks each, giving us a little bit more dendro application while we have some downtime. We switch back to Yelan, whose skill should now be back up, and finally close out the rotation by refreshing Kuki's skill since we want to maintain close to 100% uptime on our Hyperbloom trigger. This is a good place to mention that Kuki's skill cooldown is 15 seconds, which doesn't align very well with this team's 20-second rotation that's limited by Xingqiu's burst. Because of this, in the second playthrough of the rotation, Kuki's skill won't be available at the same time it was in the first rotation, having been pushed back by about 10 seconds. And again, in the third rotation, it'll be pushed back by about 5 seconds. It's only when we cycle back to our fourth rotation that it lines back up with the same order as our first rotation. While this might seem a bit disorienting, rather than trying to remember the exact order of each variation, I recommend focusing on remembering the order of Nahida, Xingqiu, and Yelan's abilities in these rotations, and keep track of Kuki's skills separately just by keeping an eye on her Electro ring. When we see that this ring has expired, we can briefly interrupt the rotation to refresh her skill, and then go back to continue the rest of the rotation where we left off. As always, this is just one of many possible rotations that you can use for this team, but it definitely doesn't mean that it's the best or optimal rotation.